Hi guys, welcome to this module on Microsoft Access. What I'd like to cover in this session is how to create a database from scratch. So create a database, have a look at some queries, some basic forms and a report so you get the full picture. So starting off with creating a blank database, I'm just going to call this one training and then click create. First off, it starts off with a table in table datasheet view, but I like to create my tables in design view. Now when I've clicked on design, it's asking me to save that, so I'm going to call this TBL as a qualifier for tables, customers. So the first table I'm going to create is customers, and it's got an ID number there. I'll call that customer ID, which is okay, and it's down as a primary key, which is means it's a unique identifier. So every customer will have, in this example, a number which will be generated automatically because it's an auto number. So then I want customer name. In fact, I'll have contact name. Then I'll have customer address. And then I will have customer city, customer postcode. I don't know why I'm writing customer, but there you go. I'll just put telephone, email, web if they've got one. And you don't have to fill all of this stuff in, but you get the idea. You're just basically creating a list that you want for your customers. Now the data types on the right are something you do need to have a look at. So first of all, short text is the default, which means you've got a limited number of characters that you can type in there. Long text would be something where you wanted to have like a memo field. So if I just put that in the bottom there, memo, put that to long text. So there you'd be writing some information about the customer, where they're stationed, what they do, what the products are, things like that. Or if people ring up and it's a contact database and you want to record what people say, you can have it on long text. But all of these others, these are fairly short fields, so they can all stay on short text, including telephone number. Even though it's a number, temptation is to put that to number. But if you do that, it will get rid of the leading 0 in the telephone number for the first part of the telephone number. It will get rid of that. So 0191 would just say 191 because a number field doesn't recognize a 0. So you should leave that on short text. Email can stay on text as well, or you can put it onto hyperlink, and you can put website onto hyperlink, which means you can then just click straight from the database table to their website if you so wish. Now the other fields in there are large number, date time. Date time is quite a common one. We'll look at that in a second. Currency, that is same as a number field, but it puts the pounds on there. Auto number is basically what you've got on the top one. Yes, no for do they have a pension? Yes or no. OLE object, which is object linking and embedding. If you want to embed documents. Hyperlink just mentioned. Attachment is instead of putting lots of objects inside an Access database, which is going to increase the size, you can just have attachments, which would then stay on your network as opposed to be in the database. Calculated fields, you can create calculated fields at this level. So maybe if you had a currency field, you might want to have a VAT field, which would automatically calculate the VAT, and then lookup wizard, we'll look at that later on. But basically, this is all you need for a table design to start off with. Down the bottom there, you've got some properties which will apply to certain different fields. So the default size, for example, is 255 there. On the long text, it's going to be a lot longer than that. It doesn't actually tell you what that is, but it's longer than that. It used to be 65,000 characters. I don't know how many pages that is, but it's a lot. So that's all I want to do for this. In proper database terms, you should list what these fields are about. Some of them are fairly obvious, nothing too drastic there. Memo, maybe you might want to qualify that with something. But I'm going to save my changes and then view the table. So now all of that information is there. So the first customer name is going to be Anne Jones. Customer address is, and then I've realized I've missed out the customer name, contact name, customer name. So I'll go back into design. I need to insert a field. So I've got contact name. So I want to insert a row there. So that needs to be company name. Save it again. Go back into view. Company name can be AMAC. Address can be 1 Red Street. And city can be Leeds. Postcode can be LE1 1RT. Telephone number 0131 344, whatever, make it up. Website can be www.amac.com, which is also made up. I'm not going to fill in the memo. Email would be ann.jones@amac.com. And you can see there hyperlinks, so I can just click those straight off. When you click the email one, it's going to click into default email. So there you go. And if I click the other one, it'll go into that website. But I've made that website up, so let's see if it works. This will be interesting. Well, I'm surprised. Obviously, it's a real company. But there you go. It shows you how that works. Now, closing that table down, I want to create a second table. So the second table is going to be courses, create table, table design, same thing. So now we're going to have course ID, which I want to be auto numbered, and the course ID needs to be the primary key because that's going to be unique identifier. And then I want some courses. Course, and let's say training date. So we'll do some date fields, and course type, that should probably say. So on the short, this needs to be date, not short text, so date and time. And then you get the option to do a format for a date, so you can display the date in whichever format you want. So I'm going to go for that one. Input mask is about forcing people to type in that format. So save the table. Table is going to be TBL courses, and I want it to be in that format. Now it does give you options to test it there, but I'm just going to go finish because I know that's going to work. And I need to put customer ID in there, which is a number field. It's an auto number field in the other table, but there you go, that's all it's going to be. So course type, training date, customer ID, and that will do for now. Close that, save the changes. So now what I should do is go and link these two tables together on database tools. So relationships, add them both, close. So the relationship is going to be customer ID, and I want to enforce referential integrity, which means you can't create any orphan records. So one-to-many link, so one customer can have many courses. And there you go. Save that link, close this down, and now we're ready to start creating some queries. So the first query, in fact, before I do a query, let's create a form. So I'll click on customers, create a form. Now, because that's a related table now, it should automatically do a related form for me, and it has. So you've got the option down there, look, where it's got the form at the top, and you've got different courses, training date down the bottom that you could select. Now, what I haven't done is any lookups. I could do some lookups in these tables. So if I just close this down and don't save it, under courses, if I just go back into design onto courses and create a lookup for course type, so down the bottom there, lookup, and then I've changed this to do a combo box is what I normally go for. I haven't actually got a table of courses, so I'll have to do a list list option, value list, and then I need to type the list. So I'm going to go Excel. Obviously this is a very quick overview of how to do all this. You'd have to spend a little bit more time than I'm doing getting this to have all the features in that you want, but basically this is just a quick overview so you get the idea. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, project, that'll do. Save that, have a look. So now that course type should have a list. There's the list, so you can select that. Okay, back to creating a form. So create a form. You need to select the correct table. That's that one, customers. Create a form. Picks up the subform at the bottom with a little drop down list. Table customers, it says. Don't want it to say table customers, so drop that back in. So I'm going to call this bookings. So this form will allow me to enter data directly into the customers and the courses table, as I'll show you in a second. So I'm just going to call this FRM table customers courses, so I know what it is. Okay, close that, have a quick look, home, view. So what I could do is put some buttons at the end there to get myself a new record, but I'll just click on this and let's say we get a new customer. Customer name is Dave, contact name, sorry, is Dave Smith, company name is Smith and Sons, address is 2 Red Street, City, Leeds, LE2 2RT, telephone number is 0131 444 555. Email, he hasn't got an email. Website, he hasn't got one. And the course he wants is project, and he wants it next week, 21st of May 2020. That's what he's after. So then I'll just close that down, open up the tables, customers, to see what I type there has come through onto this. Courses, now it's got my first course booked. Close these two tables down. Now I want to create a report. So report, create report, and it just drops it in like that, which is pretty grim looking, so I don't really want that. So I'm going to get rid of that one. So I'm going to have to create one myself. I'll go through the wizard. So create report wizard. So what do I want to do this on? So I've only got tables there, courses and tables. So basically I have to do one or the other, and I don't want to do it like this. So what I'm missing is a query. So cancel that and create a query that's going to join these two things together. So create query design. I'm going to add both tables. Close that. So what do I want? I want the contact name, company name, and company address, company city, company postcode on this, and then I want from there I want course type and training dates, and let's have a quick look at that. Run that query. So I've only got one course project, that's it. So I'll save that query as QRY course details, click OK to that, close the query down. Now I should run a report on that. So create a report wizard. So query course details, I want all the fields across. Courses, I've got the option here of sorting by customers, customers by course type and training date. Yeah, I suppose I do want that. Do you want any grouping? Company name you'd want to group by. Company name, then it would show you all the other bits and bobs. And next, yeah, I'm not bothered about sorting. I want it landscape, next. So this is going to be a report RPT on customer query course details, not that, query course details, query course details. So basically you need to make sure you can follow the logic of these names. So this is a report looking at the query course details, and then finish, and then you get that. Close that print preview. So now what I'm going to do is close that. I'm going to open my form. I'm going to do a new course, a new customer. It's going to be customer name is going to be Mike Brown. Company is Red House, made that up as well. He lives at 2 Blue Street in Bradford, and the postcode is BD76RT. Telephone number 0167. No, that's not it. 01. I can't remember what it is for Bradford, but it doesn't matter. It's not that for definitely. That's his number. He has got a website, so it's www.redhouse.com. And the course he wants is Excel, and the training is going to be today. There you go. I'll close that, and then another course. This time Anne Jones wants PowerPoint. She wants it today. And if I go forward again, he's now doing another course. He wants access training, and he wants it on the 1st of June 2020. There are all your courses. Now obviously I'm not doing anything to do with costs and prices just for this example, but the fields you would have to add in onto this course table would be the prices of the course. Hopefully you plan that out properly so you don't have to go back, which I would have to do right now. But I want to just look at this report. If I open this report, it's now saying what company's done what. So Smith & Sons have done 2. I've got no money, so there's no addition going on at the end, but you can see how this would work. You could have a summary there, and you can create reports for your invoices and everything that you need to run a company that's doing training, because I do training and I use Access as for my invoices and all my bookings and everything. Just going to close that down, and one last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new form, form design, blank form, because I want some buttons on here so I don't have to keep clicking and opening these. So I could use macros to do this, to open these up, but I'm just going to create a command button there and get it to open a form for me. Form operations, open form, next. I've only got one form, next, open, next. Wait, open the form, show all records, yeah, that one. Customers, and then finish. And then I'm going to do another button which is going to open the report operations, preview report. Only got one report, next. Preview course details, next, and finish. And then I'm going to save this form as main menu. Okay, have a look at that form, click that button, opens up that one. So now I need a button to close this, so going back into design on this one, doing another command button at the top in this little blue area, and I'm just going to select form operations, close form, and just leave it like that. Finish. Save, look, close. So open, close. Now preview course details is a report. You don't get the option to put a button on there. You could put a button on there, but I don't want to, because this is normally what you're printing off. We'll close that one down there. Now the reason you need to close forms is when you enter data into a form, it's not in the database until you tab off the record or close the form. So it's good practice to do that. Close that form and bring you back to your main form. So every time you open this database, you want this form to open. So to do that very quickly, you go File Options and Current Database, Display Form, Main Menu. Okay, so every time you open this database, when I close it and open it again, thank you very much. Every time you open this database, this form will appear and you can then utilize it to navigate through all the objects that you create down this left-hand side. You can have this hidden as well. You can have the ribbon hidden. There's lots of things you can do with that, but that's for different sessions. This is just an overview of how to get yourself into a database quickly, nothing too technical, very simple, straightforward. So I hope it's been of use to you, and I thank you for your time.